Everyone. Welcome to our meetup. We're going to be talking about Anypoint Code Builder. Before we start off any meetup, wanted to, as you know, Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and we'll be sharing forward-looking statements today relating to the products. Please make all purchasing and partnership decisions on products that are readily available. Moving on, our safe harbor statement, both speakers, hosts, we're organizing this event at individual capacity. And this is strictly for learning purposes only. And we do not hold any responsibility that the same solution might work for the business case you're looking into. Thank you. With regards to our organizers, I'm Lavina Ambani, VP Customer Success, based out of Dallas, Texas, and I will be leading the meetup today, moderating it. And my colleague Anubhav Mangla, he is not on our call today, but both of us tag team together for our meetup group. So thank you. Moving on to our most important part of this meetup, are two amazing speakers. So I'm going to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. So go for it, Kiran.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to MuleSoft meetup that is happening in Frisco. And I'm myself, Kiranjot Kaur. I have 6 years of experience in MuleSoft and currently working as an associate solution architect with Caelius. And I'm excited to give you insights about Anypoint Code Builder. Yeah, so over to Manchu.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the meetup. I am Himanshu Sethi and I'm currently working as senior solution consultant here at Caelius Consulting based out of Mohali, India. And let's make this meetup very interactive in nature. Okay. So going forward, I'll be starting with this one. As first thing we are going to see is what is our today's agenda. So we have few sections in our meetup today. That is, first one would be what is Anypoint Code Builder. We are gonna be about that. Then we're gonna jump to some of its features and then prerequisites that are required to access Anypoint Code Builder. And then the UI part, what all parts we have while accessing the Anypoint Code Builder, what all things that is being present in that. We're gonna see that. Then at moving on to, we have a demo for, we have a particular use case designed for this demo, and at the end we'll have some interesting trivia. Okay, so let's start with first thing, that is what is Anypoint Code Builder. So Anypoint Code Builder, it is a web-based platform. It is a web-based. Currently, it is web-based platform and an IDE which allows and helps developer to design, develop, deploy APIs, and helps us to integration as well as helps us to do the automations. And the main feature of this one is it is a single environment where we can do these lot of many tasks on a single environment. So that's the main feature of this Anypoint Code Builder, and it's an integrated IDE which is completely based on right now on Visual Studio Code. It, along with Visual Studio Code extensions, it also include Anypoint Code Builder extensions too additionally in that one. And for particularly accessing this IDE, we don't need any extra software installation or any specific configuration. We can simply accept its policies and we can directly open Anypoint Code Builder and start with the development thing. So right now its scope is currently, it is released as a beta version, but once it is stable, the alpha version, which in the future state is, it is also going to be released. Moving on to this one. Yeah, Kiran.
So, what all feature and tools we can expect from Anypoint Code Builder? So, first, let's talk about what would impact of this Anypoint Code Builder. So, if I'm a developer, I don't want to switch screens. I want to increase my productivity. I want everything on my screen at once. So, with the help of this, we can design, we can develop, we can deploy, and we can even automate on a single screen. So that's amazing, and also it would increase our productivity. And Himanshu, if you can switch the screen.
Sure.
Yeah. So what tools Anypoint Code Builder offered us? So we can design, we can implement, we can integrate. In design, we can add, we can define raml, we can connect to Exchange, we can write documentations through Anypoint Code Builder. And in implementation and integration, it give us dual experience. It give us experience of code view. It is also giving us experience of graphical view. So with the in phase of implementation integration, you can view the both views. It help developer to increase their productivity and can have multiple views. And also, if there is a tutorial that is on MuleSoft site, if you look at the bottom left, Anypoint Code Builder Beta tutorial. So you can follow that tutorial and you can build your applications. And yeah, that's very good documentation. I would recommend that. Yeah, over to you, Himanshu.
Okay. So before accessing any point code builder, there are some prerequisites for that. First of all, whenever any org subscription is been taken, and it is whenever we starts with any point code builder, the org admin needs to accept its terms and conditions. Then only this feature will be enabled on that particular org. Next thing is whosoever is accessing this or trying to develop APIs on this platform, they needs to have a specific permission for any point code builder, which I am going to show you in the later section how we can enable that. And right now, as I already mentioned, its private beta release is taken place, and once it is stable, the alpha version will also be going to come. The main important thing is that it is not restricted right now. It is not restricted to only a subscriptional org. Like if you have a particular subscription like platinum or titanium, it's not restricted to that. A trial org, a person or a developer who is having a trial org, he can also enable this and use this tool so as to get a hands on and get to know more about this tool, how it works. Okay, so now we'll see how we can start the Anypoint Code Builder, how we can open launch its ID, and what all prerequisites are required before accessing this one. So first thing is, first of all, you need to log in into your Anypoint platform with your credentials, which is uh, uh, which is already being set up on that particular org. Then that user or that developer needs to have a particular permission. And as I have added this screenshot, so you can see there's an option over here in this glimpse that you can just simply click on this option, or either you can route through the menu option and you can just start with this Anypoint Code Builder. So this is how it looks once we launch the ID. I'm gonna show you that too. So let me just quickly open my Anypoint platform. Yeah, here I go. I just log in into this. Okay, so right now my org admin has already accepted its terms and conditions, so that's why I can see this option. And over here you can see it's a beta version right now. So by clicking over here, you can start this ID, or else from this menu section also you can just simply click on this. But before starting this, you need to have a specific permission. So I'm going to show you how an org admin or the particular person can provide the permissions to the users. So let me just, you have to first click on access management and just route through the users there. Okay, I'll just quickly search for like Kiranjot. And the bottom, you can see there are a lot of permissions in this one. There's one specific permission for Anypoint Code Builder. So you can simply click on providing the permission, and then it will just ask you to add it. So right now, Kiranjit has already had this one, Anypoint Code Builder developer. That's why she can access this. Okay, now let's see how we can launch this code builder and what all parts we have in this one. So we right now we have this option for launch web ID. From this, you can simply click on this and it will launch your ID. And in the bottom, you can also see there's one option called manage ID. Okay, so there are some more details in this option. Is the one you can see where this image is hosted. Like currently, this Anypoint platform is hosted on AWS. So you can see this is the image thing. And if you want to access this particular instance, there is a URL. Along with that, we have the timestamp when it was created. So let's say if your instance, something happens with the instance, you want to reboot this from here, you can reboot it, or if you want to delete that, you can simply delete this too. So while by clicking this option, you can start with your Anypoint Code Builder, and this might take some time, depends on active network connectivity. So I'll just quickly show you after once it gets open how it looks like. Okay, so here I have this UI. This is the UI that you are going to see once you click on that and once it gets launched. So there are multiple sections in this UI. This one is basically called activity bar, where you can see multiple options, like you want to search, you want to push your code over a source control, or you want to run or debug, and multiple extensions are all already available, and you for particularly for MuleSoft, for the development of MuleSoft API, as I already mentioned in the previous slides. Also, there is one more option if you want to connect with your Anypoint platform account. Right now it is not connected, as you can see in the bottom section over here on the right hand side bottom section, not logged in into Anypoint platform. If you want to log in, simply you can click on this profile section and you can log in into your account. In the bottom we have a status bar where we can see all the status that is being going on over this particular instance. Then we have panels, and also once we start designing an API or starts with something, we this section becomes the canvas where we can develop our API, we can design our API, and along with that we can deploy that too. Okay, so coming back to the slide part, so now we would see the use case demo in which Kiran is going to represent how we can design, develop, and deploy the API. So over to you, Kiran. I'll just stop sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Himanshu. Let me quickly share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So this is a screen that is firstly visible to when we launch Anypoint Code Builder. So we have two options over here: launch web IDE. There is a web-based code builder, and the desktop version would be coming soon. That would be excited. So it is coming soon, and then we are going to launch Code Builder Web. I already launched it, and we would land it to this page. Here we am going to demo on one API, that is the API which will connect to Salesforce and get fetch the result from the Salesforce. Let's start with design an API. So here you want to give the application name, the API name. You can give. So this project location, this is important. So this project location, this would not exist on your local machines. This would exist in AWS E2 instance. And here you can select the RAM 1.0. And this is a new feature that has been released in April. So it is recently launched a feature that is business group. So you can select any business group where you want to keep your API. So let's create a project. So here it is creating API specifications. There you go. So let's have a one endpoint. With that, let's over here. See if I'm doing anything wrong, it is giving me suggestions as well. So like we have in the YAML specification, it is giving me suggestions here as well. So let's get responses. $200 body application JSON. So now I have created okay. So now I have created my YAML. Let me check in my
Kiran, just
design.
check. It's application JSON. The spelling
Oh,
of
sorry.
JSON. Yeah.
That's why it is giving me error. So let me check over here if this design center, we have this API. And this is, if you see, the API is already created in design center. Yeah, it is already created. Once I give the name, it is already created. And now, but you can see there is no content. Here we can see I have the content in my YAML, but here we don't have. So what you need to publish that content, you need to push that code. So let me publish here. I'm doing any mistake, why it is giving me error? So if you see, um, to commit the content, we need to push the content to design center. It would synchronize between, it would give sync between your design center and your endpoint code builder. Let me have that message first push. And now let me push. So would you like to stage all your changes and commit directly? Yes. And yeah, now I need to sync my changes. So if you see there's a message, probably ask me later. So if I can go back to design center, I can see the content now. So with this, we have the synchronization between design center and Anypoint Code Builder. Let's move to the next step. That is, I want my RAML to be published to the exchange. So what you can do, you can use command panel over here. So for Mac, you can use Command P, and for Windows, you can use Command Shift P. So if I click on Command P, there is a command panel open up. So here I want to publish to Exchange. MuleSoft publish API to Exchange, and it is asking me for the name, set the project name. So I will go by this name. If you want to change it, you can change it. Press enter. It is asking the set artifact ID. So if you want to change it, it's up to you. And also, if you want to publish as a version 1.0.0, then you can keep it like this. API version would be v1, and save your publishing API specification to Exchange. So meanwhile it is happening, let me quickly go to Exchange and see if there is any application already exists. Not yet. It is yet to be published. So it is publishing API specification to Exchange. We don't have currently any API by the name of this. Yeah. So it is now published to Exchange as FTC Sys API. So let me quickly go. Yeah, now I can see my RAML specification in Exchange. That's great. And also you can view the console view as well. So this is the console view where you can get, try it out, and send request, and you will get the response. Similar lines, now we have published our RAML into the Exchange. Let's implement that RAML. So we have two options. First option, would you like to implement SFDC API over here? It would, if you click yes, it would automatically create a project and scaffold it for you, and you can start implementation. But let me explain you the second option we have. So if we go to the panel, then implement an API. Let me give the name. So again, if this would be created on AWS, an asset name, which RAML specification. So I can add asset over here, add asset. Now I have added my RAML specification to my API. So I will click on create project. It would create a project, scaffold it, and create flows for you. So let's try it out, create project. So it is saying SFTC CCAPs already exist. Okay, maybe I have created somewhere. Let me add that over here. So it is scaffolding the project. And we have our own project set up. That's cool. So if I go to the main XML, this is the main XML. So this is the code view. Now let me explain you to the graphical view. So this is the graphical view for Anypoint Code Builder. So this is the XML. This is the main XML. For the first time, it takes few minutes, but after that, it would be easy. So it is preparing flow canvas. There you go. Now, if you see, this is the main XML. So here is a point. You can see only one flow at one time on the canvas. If you want to switch on the multiple flows, you can switch over here. So this is the get endpoint flow I have created in RAML. So if you click on it, you can view the your get flow. So in April release, earlier it was not interactive canvas. Now in April release, they have introduced the interactive canvas. Now you can add components from this plus sign. You can add code processors. These are the code processors. You can add it. This is the connectors, you can add it from here. So also let me explain you how to download a connector from an exchange. So let us go to back. So if you see the MuleSoft import asset from exchange, if you click on it, it gives you the four options. You can import, you can add REST API, you can add data web library, GraphQL API, or connector. Let's suppose I want to add connector Gmail. Let's see there, I have a list of connectors. I type Gmail connector. Now I want to add Gmail connector. So see, dependency successfully added. Now if I go back, if I click on this, now I can see connector, I can see Gmail connector over here. Okay, and this is how you can add connector from the exchange, and you can add connector, you can use those connector by just adding, by just clicking on the plus sign. This is how this canvas is talking to you. You can add, you can subtract, you can add APIs as well. So this is how, this is a very interactive canvas. Now let us implement. So in today's demo, I'm going to connect with Salesforce and I'm going to fetch lead list from the Salesforce. This is a Salesforce. I'm going to use query endpoint. See, now my connector has been added, the query connector. First, to use query connector, I need to have my Salesforce configuration, Salesforce config. So in April release, there is also snippet releases. So if you type Salesforce, it gives you suggestion which config do you want. So Salesforce SFD config, if you click on it, it would automatically add it. And here you can add your username credentials, your org credentials, username, password, and token over here. So let me quickly grab that information and paste it over here. And also what I want to query, I will use the same config reference over here, say where, and I have a query. Let me quickly paste the query over here. Okay, so I added transform message as well, so it will give you the payload, whatever the query returns, it would also return the payload. There we have defined everything. We have defined the config reference to the Salesforce and the query to fetch the result from the lead data object. Okay, so now I want to debug it and test it. If you, this is the run and debug. Here you can run and debug your endpoints. How you can click over it, run and debug. So now you press over here, run and debug. It might take few minutes because this is a new endpoint, um, new setup for this user. So that's why it is taking time. You can add ports over here as well. So if you want to test on different port, you can add ports over here. So, okay, while it is deploying, I can explain you what would be the URL of this to test it. So you need to copy this URL from above here, and okay, I need to share Postman as well. Can you see my screen as Postman, Himanshu?
No, Karan, it's not visible.
Okay.
Can you reshare your screen and check?
Yeah, I can do so. Okay. If you see Postman over here, how you need to construct the URL to test it. So you need to type the URL that I have copied from there. You need to write proxy and type 8081 port and your API endpoint, API URL, lead list. This would be the complete URL where you can test your APIs. Why it is taking so much time to deploy? Yes, Samindra, Ammunite implementation is also supported. So in our next meetup, we will cover that topic too, Ammunite and data beam, and also API governance. So stay tuned. And I need to stop sharing. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah, it is taking time to debug it. Not sure why. It should. So here you add configuration like you did you do on Anypoint the studio. Add configuration. You can pass runtime parameters, all those stuff. Launch has been launched. JSON has been created, but why it is not debugging it?
Kiran, can you try debugging it once again?
No, you did something.
No, I was just asking, can you just stop and try debugging it again? Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Oh, I can kill the bash. Yeah, there you go. Kill terminal. Okay, while debugging or deploying, so I can explain you how to test it. So if you go to developer console, so I have one deployed application to Exchange. So this is the URL you can use. So there is a one hack that you need to take care of it. That is cookies. If you send it, I have a similar endpoint in one of my example. So this is a similar endpoint where we are getting the data from Salesforce, where we are getting metadata. So we are getting 200 response from the same endpoint, but you are getting metadata. You are not getting the exact JSON format response. So what you need to do to oh, sorry, I'm sharing my screen as a postman. Okay, just wait. Okay, this is the endpoint where I was talking about. This is the endpoint. That's the exact same endpoint that I have in one of my examples. So the URL I have explained to you said that is 8081 port, and on API the same endpoint that we have created in our today's demo. So if you see, this is the metadata response. If I untick this cookie, and if I click on it, this would give the response, but this response is metadata. If I want to correct that data, want to exact the MIME type of the response, you need to click on the cookies and you will get the data. So how you will get the cookies? So let me quickly explain it to you that how you can get the cookies. So if you go to developer console, more tools, developer tools, and this is the value for auth proxy signature, and this is value for auth proxy. You need to copy both these values.
Kiran, we
And,
cannot see that screen. Can you just share the
uh,
entire screen?
yeah, I can share my entire screen.
Yeah.
Please give me a minute. Okay, now if you can see. So this is the proxy. If, let me explain it to you one more time how I can get those values. So if you go to mode more tools, developer tools. And this is the cookie, and there this is the auth proxy signature and auth proxy values. You need to copy from it here, from here, and paste it in the header of the cookies. You replace the value of auth proxy. This is the value of auth proxy, and this is the value of auth proxy signature. If you have this cookie with you, then you send it, it will give you a response exact the same way you want. If you untake it, it would give you metadata response. Here, that's how you can test your application. And this is how we to test on Anypoint Code Builder, debugging and testing. After debugging and testing, you can deploy your application to Anypoint platform. So for Anypoint platform, to deploy it, you need to add one file in resource. So you need to create one file over here that would be deploy.json. If you add it, deploy.json, you need to write some attributes uh, to this file to deploy your configuration to Anypoint platform. So this is the points. These are the parameters you need to specify in your deploy.json file. First would be the runtime, second would be the worker size, and third would be the application name, workers, and auto start true. Once you define these parameters in the same API, then you need to deploy this application. So again, command P for Mac, and I want to deploy to Clouder. So let us deploy to Clouder to test this application out. If I go back to runtime manager, I guess there is an issue with this project. Maybe that's why it is not deploying.
Kiran, can you open the previous project then?
I am going to do that.
from the file. It's open folder.
Yeah, it is workspace and file. It would not
Yeah.
open when you send. Yep, there you go. Now let's try to let's try to deploy this application. So if we click on deploy, it is already deployed. That's why I'm not getting that option. Okay, MuleSoft. This is the somebody asking. So basically, we can stop using Studio. Yeah, definitely, definitely, we can stop. Yeah. So, oh, now other application is also deployed. Okay, that it take time, but it is deployed. Maybe this user is new to this extensions are loading for the first time. That might take time, but it is deployed. Let us now check. This is the Ramadan specification. Okay, let me quickly create a new file that we can have it. Implementation and API. Yeah, scaffolding finish. So here we have another project where we have files, we have canvas, here we have main file, and let me open the canvas view. Yeah, there you go. So now you flow list, this is the endpoint we are working on. Add connectors, I'm adding Salesforce query connector to query the endpoint. That's the query endpoint. Dependency successfully added, that's superb. Now if I want Salesforce config, press enter. I have that configuration on one side. So this is Salesforce config. I'm giving the same reference to my Salesforce connector. Awesome. So now I have one query as well. So I'm going to paste up my query over here. Great. So now let's debug it. Yeah, there you go. So here you can see the logs. It's awesome. So here you can see the logs of that application, and now you can see your mule base setup, your home path setup, thread connections, all that stuff you see on Anypoint Code Studio, you can see similar things over here as well on the terminal. Okay, so now your application is running on 8081 port. Let me test. So we have this application. Let me add over here, add proxy. This is important to add proxy because it is not communicating directly. List, let me send this request. So see, so here I'm getting the data, but it is a 200 metadata response. So for cookies, you need to add cookies. I will quickly copy the cookies from here. So I don't want to waste your time, guys. So let me quickly copy the value cookie, and here we can add the cookie and send the request. See, there you go. So you are getting the response from the lead list from the Salesforce. That's amazing. So we have covered so far. We designed the API, we published to Exchange, and we tested on local machines. How we test it. So next feature is the deployment of the API to Anypoint runtime. So if we click on, I'm sorry, if you click on deploy to Cloud Hub, I want to stop that application. Oh, sorry, I need to stop this. Yeah, and this is deploy. So let's deploy. So you can select the environment from here. Isn't it cool? So you can do everything on single screen. You can design it. You can publish to Exchange. You can deploy it from your one screen. So let us deploy from on the environment of dev. Yeah. This is something. Great. So here we selected the environment, but I guess I don't have required permission to this user, so that's why it is saying unauthorized. So, but you follow the same way, same path. So select the give the application a name, select the environment, and deploy it. So if I see this is a similar application I have deployed from by following the same steps. So then now you can test it from here. So this is a similar kind of API that I have deployed, and I'm giving the 200 response, same exact. So this is about Anypoint Code Builder, where you can perform every development step on a single screen. And in upcoming meetup, so we are going to demo data weave along with Anypoint Code Builder, and also API governance, and the one and yeah, that these upcoming features are we are going to cover in upcoming meetup. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all from my side. Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you, Kiran, Himanshu. We do have uh, a trivia that we
Yeah.
put together just to make sure that we all were listening. So
Okay,
Himanshu is
I'll
going to
just
go ahead
quickly
and
share my
present.
screen once again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on to the trivia section now. Let me just bring that up over here. Okay, so you all need to log in into menti.com. This is the URL, and here's the code. Lavina, can you just paste this code in the chat?
Sure, sure, I sure
Yeah.
can. So join into menti.com, and our code is 75737977. There we go. Have it in our chat as well. So menti.com 75737977. I think, Himanshu, you might have to, uh, it says the quiz is not open.
Okay, give me a second. I'll
Yeah,
just quickly
sure.
share it once again. Just give. Yep. Can you guys try it once again?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Give me a sec. And here we go. Okay, 23 players has joined. Let's wait for others and then we can start. Okay, now we have 24 players.
Himanshu, maybe we can start. We can get
Okay,
going. Yeah.
sure. So you can see your questions on your screen. First of all, what is Anypoint Code Builder? And you have 20 seconds to answer this question. Okay, here we have our answer. So it is a web-based ID, and let me just, here is our leaderboard. Okay, everyone is everyone is on top right now. Let's begin with the next one. Okay, so the next question is how can you access Anypoint Code Builder? And you have 15 seconds to answer this question. That's a great thing. Everyone has voted. Okay, so the correct answer is through Anypoint platform. And I'll just check the leaderboard then. Here we have the leaderboard. Okay, so Magical Riano is on top. Then we have Sai, and then we have Vikas. Moving on to our last
It's
question.
close competition there.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so you can see the next question on your screen. What deployment options are available for applications built with Anypoint Code Builder? So you have 15 seconds to answer this question. Okay, everyone has voted. And the correct answer is all of the above because using this Anypoint Code Builder, you can deploy to each and every environment. Moving on to leaderboard. So Magical Riano is on top. He's the winner. And then we have Vikas and then we have Sai.
Awesome.
Okay.
This was fun. It
It
just shows a
is.
lot of us were listening.
Yeah, completely agree on that.
So I want to take this opportunity. I know I don't want to go over time just because Everyone has things going on. But thank you so much to Kiran. Thank you, Himanshu, for putting this together. This was definitely a great topic, especially since we're still in the beta version and there's still more to come, like Kiran and Himanshu mentioned. So thank you very much. Thank you for everyone taking time out in the middle of the day for some of us, end of the day for some of the others, and joining our meetup. Just a quick announcement. We do have World Tour NYC coming up May 4th, Thursday in New York. Anyone close by, feel free to join. Please sign up using the QR code. We will go ahead and share the recording once it's available to us. It is uploaded on a YouTube channel and we will share the link with you all. So thank you. Thanks everyone. And hope to see you all soon during some of our other meetup sessions. Thank you,
Thanks everyone for
speakers.
joining.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.